We're gonna test the video. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Okay. Oh, what's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Girl, 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 girl. We are down here, girl. Let me tell you something. This weekend, I don't know what was wrong with me, baby. I was higher than giraffe pussy off these crazy ass edibles. I don't know where they went. And then, edibles give you the munchies. So, girl, yesterday, I don't know what I ate like I was on a cruise. This whole weekend, I really ate like I was on a cruise. I went, after I dropped my kid off, I was craving burgers. That's what I was craving, like a pregnant lady. I was craving burgers. I was like, I want a burger, but I don't want, like, I'm not about to go through no fast food place. I want a restaurant burger. So I went and I had a burger and some fries with Thousand Island dressing on the side. And then I had another burger yesterday. Oh my God. Another restaurant burger. I just wanted a burger and fries. I just wanted an old school burger and fries with the first one I had with coffee because it was like 11 o'clock and I was still having, I had my coffee right here. I had my coffee break. So anyway, I don't want to spend too much time talking about stuff I did over the weekend, but yeah, I relaxed. I went to the park. I was like, I do not want to be in the house. Yesterday, I did not want to be in the house at all. So I was like, I'm leaving. I'm going to stay in my car. I went and got in my car and I went to, where did I go? Yesterday. Oh, we went to eat at this new place that we found. It was actually pretty good. I had these salted caramel pancakes with candied pecans on the top. So good. And the boys had he had like a stacked chicken and waffles. It was like a waffle. It looked like a chicken sandwich, but with waffles as the bread. But it was stacked and it had spicy aioli sauce on it with onions. It was like sweet and savory at the same time. They gave him all the stuff to put on his waffles, but it was savory. It was very much savory. And then my youngest one just got strawberry all over his. He loves strawberries over his waffles. So we all had a pretty good breakfast. And then when I got home, I was like, I don't want to go upstairs. So I didn't go upstairs because I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to be at home. So I dropped them on. I didn't want to be upstairs. I sat in the car for a little while. I even premiered a video yesterday from the car. I was sitting in the car just like, let me premiere this video because it's been sitting here since Friday. So I was like, let me go ahead and premiere this video today. So I premiered a video yesterday. Um, and then I was like, I want to go to the park, but they play soccer on Sundays at the park. So I was like, let me go to the park. And I keep a blanket in the car, so I got my blanket and I just lay down. I fell asleep until I felt an ant biting me, and then I woke up. Oh, this is so good. It has cinnamon in it. Oh gosh. Oh my God. It's so good. Oh my God. I feel like throwing it up against the wall. It is so good. So I didn't do anything. I didn't watch anything. Like I said, I was like it was like I'm at I'm out. I'm out. I'm out of the house. So I did a little shopping. I got some press on. I found a cute little press on nail place from TikTok shop. So I got a couple of pairs of the couple sets of nails, press ons. Like, I'm done buying the press ons from where I buy them. I have on these press ons, but these are only because I wanted to use these before. I didn't want to throw these away without actually using them, but they're not cute. I mean, they're cute. They're cute. They're cute, but I don't like the way they look necessarily. Um, they are like, I don't know, but the ones that I'm about to get, they are, oh my God, they are so pretty. They have like flower, like designs and stuff on them. They're so fucking pretty. So I can't wait to get those. I should be getting those this week, or maybe the first week of October. I should be getting those. But anyways, yeah, I did a dispensary run. I had a cute dispensary run. I had rewards. I always do my rewards. They give you rewards for every dollar you spend. They give you like, I don't know how many rewards they give you, but I think they give you 10% of what you spend. You get that in points back. So if I spend $100, would I get like 10 points or something like that? I think it's something like that because I had 18 points and I was like, okay, so whenever I get into double digits over 15, then I use my points towards my total. So because I went over, I got an eighth for a penny or $5, I think, a $5 eighth. And then I got a $5 eighth. And then I got a pre roll for a penny. And then I got another. I always order a pre roll because I order 14 grams at a time. So instead of rolling one when I get it, like when I get my delivery, I already have a pre roll in my delivery rolled. So I just been on a kitty cloud this weekend doing my thing. I had to take my kid to work. Yeah, so after I took him to work, that's when I went and had the burger because there's a diner right next to near his job. So I went and I had a burger at the diner, and then I came home, and then I went to C's Candy. Oh my God, I went to C's and got a couple pieces of candy. They had this coffee candy with the toasted coconut on the outside of it with white chocolate and toasted coconut. Kona something. I don't know what it was, but it was coffee flavor. And then I got, of course, I always get the candies. I don't even know what they call them. They're like on the bottom, it's like all chocolate, and then on the top, it's like nougat with nuts, with either walnuts, pralines. I don't ever see them with peanuts, but they usually do it with walnuts or pralines. But it's like nougat at the top, and on the bottom, they do it in milk chocolate and they do it in dark chocolate. I always get those. I've always liked those since I was a little girl. So I always get those for nostalgia's sake. And then I got some turtles, which I always get for nostalgia's sake. Yeah. Turtles and those nougats. I like whenever my grandmother would get a box of C's candies, she always gets nuts and chews, and I would get those. I would automatically go in the box and get those two. They would have one in dark chocolate and one in milk chocolate. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And it's like of course, a little square, but then on the top it's like nuts and caramel and nougat at the top, and then on the bottom is either dark chocolate or milk chocolate. So good, yeah. And then there was another one. It was like a maple. It was a maple something with pecan. And she was like, I wanted it. I was like, can I have one of those? She was like, I only have a sample of it. I only have one sample of it left. I don't have any more. It's just I have a sample. And so she gave me the sample. It was so good. It was like a candied maple around. I don't even know what it was around, but it had a pecan in it. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. You have to get your little taste of chocolate every now and again. So I just rolled on over the seas so I could just buy pieces instead of buying. They had a cafe latte lollipop. Remember the lollipops? Remember the seas? They had dark chocolate, they would have caramel, butterscotch, the lollipops. But now they have a coffee flavored lollipop. I was gonna get it, but I was like, no, I'll leave it alone. So yeah, I went to C's, and then after I went to C's, I took my C's. I went to the park, laid in the park, eating chocolate, watching people play football, and then I fell asleep. Girl, I'll be falling asleep on the grass. Oh my God, so you talking about touching grass? I'll be laid out. I really do. I'll be laid out like I'm in the park by myself. Like it's almost like nobody else is around. I just fall asleep, and you know what? And I think about that. Like when I lay down at the park and I like literally fall asleep. I'm so thankful to live in an area that is safe. You know what I'm saying? Because I can just lay down on the grass and watch the people, and the street vendors, they come out because there's a lot of people out there, watching people play soccer. They have their leagues or whatever. And so they have the street vendors out there. You can go get your mango or your strawberry or your coconut, your little treats or she does the Cheetos in with the chamoy and lemon and tahini and all that stuff. So they do all that stuff, and I just go to the park and put my blanket down. I need a bigger blanket. I'm using one of the blankets from the boys when they were a little baby, but I could still fit on the blanket. You know, if I lay down and I don't lay straight out. I like curl up. Like I really be laying on the grass, like I'm comfortable. I love it. On a blanket, of course. But then the ants be fall, and then I always mess up by getting under a tree, and ants and stuff and little stuff fall out of the tree, and so I had an ant biting me. Well, I could feel the ant on me, and I was like, yeah, I just blow them off, and then go back to sleep. So I went back to sleep. So then I came home, and then my son was like, he wants to make apple fritters. So I came home and I was like, he wants to go to Sprouts. So we went to Sprouts. But before we went to Sprouts, I was like, I want a burger. And I was hungry. I was like, I want a burger. And I was like, you want to go with me to get a burger? I was going to go by myself. I was like, you want to go with me to get a burger? He was like, what? I was like, yeah, let's go. He was like, I just wanted to go to Sprouts. I was like, no, we're going to get a burger. So my other son, when we came back, he was making dinner and he was like, where did y'all go? And I was like, we went and had a burger. Well, my son, he had a sandwich. I had a burger. But yeah, and so I came home and that was it. Let's see what's going on. They want to sell me a car. I've had my car, own my car. Um, I don't have any, I don't own my car. And so I've been looking at my car. I want to trade it in, but I want to trade it in for an older Jeep because I was just talking about this. Was I talking about this the other day? Maybe I didn't upload the video, but I was talking about how I want an older Jeep because I've always wanted a Jeep ever since I was a young girl. And I told y'all about that, how my dad went out and bought a red Jeep Wrangler with a tan top and would not let me drive it. He knew the two times my dad did that. Two cars that I wanted, he went out and bought and wouldn't let me drive them. Didn't I tell y'all this story? He bought a Mini Cooper, didn't let me drive it, and he bought a Jeep Wrangler, would not let me. I rode in it, but he would not let me drive it. And he wouldn't let me drive it because when I got my first car that my grandmother helped me buy, I would not let him drive the car because when I asked him to help me buy the car, he would not help me buy the car, meaning co-sign on the car. So because he didn't co-sign, he didn't help me with the car, I wouldn't let him drive my car. And he held that against me whenever he bought a car. When I would explain to him, like, oh my God, I want a Mini Cooper. I think they're so cute. Oh my God, a Mini Cooper is so cute. Jeep Wrangler, same thing. I want no doors, no top. He went, his had doors in the top, but of course you could take them off. But he would not let me drive it. It was so weird to me. I would be like, you're not gonna let me drive it, and it's all because I was mad at him for not co-signing and helping me get my first car. My grandmother co-signed and helped me get my first car. My mother and father, my mother did not play that. She didn't co-sign for nobody. She didn't give a fuck. She was not messing up her 852, right? I don't know how you got 2 extra points, but her 852 credit score, she was not letting anybody mess that up. So she would not co-sign for me. My grandmother co-signed for me. And so because my parents didn't co-sign for me, I did not let them drive my car. Like if they went, oh my God, you got your new car. You all excited about my car, but then you want to drive it? No. And so he held that against me. And when he would buy cars that I wanted, he would not let me drive those cars. So I do want, now my car is paid off, I don't want a car payment. If I do have a car payment, I only maybe want like a 2-year loan or something like that, not no 5-year. I'm not doing none of that, or maybe a year loan or something like that because I could probably pay it off in a year. But I want a Jeep. And the car that I have now, I should have bought a Jeep, but I was thinking about boys growing up and having leg room and stuff like that. But I was like, I should have bought the car that I've always wanted, which is a Jeep Wrangler. So I was looking at the Broncos. I saw a Bronco for $60,000. I was like, bitch, I might as well buy me a pre-owned motherfucking BMW or a pre-owned fucking Benz. I'm not buying no goddamn Bronco for $60,000. Y'all have lost your fucking minds. Crazy as hell. Oh, I don't have my lighter. That's why I need my lighter, y'all. I think it's in my purse. Is it in my purse? Because I was at the park, and so I take my little, I roll me a little reefer up. Here's a nail in this. Yeah, I got some cute nails. Y'all wait till y'all see. I can't wait to show y'all. I got some really cute nails. So let's see what's on the blogs. The Braxtons are back. Are y'all watching the Braxtons? I'm not. I think it's a good show though. I give a shout out to them every now and again, to Tony and all the girls, because they're actually showing dynamics that people are actually, even people like them are afraid to show. Trump says he's imposing a 100% tariff on any and all movies that are made outside of the United States. Our movie making business has been stolen from the United States of America by other countries, just like stealing candy from a baby. And you know what's crazy? The way that he talks is very calculating, manipulative. And the amount of education that we have gotten around narcissists and narcissistic personality traits, if you don't clearly see how this man just is a straight up liar, we've been making movies. The United States has been making movies in other countries for years. And that's for the scenery. It's for the how much it cost to do it. Like, I remember realizing how many films are filmed in Prague. Like, a lot of movies, especially like not sci-fi, fantasy. Yeah, like sci-fi, not sci-fi necessarily, but more like fantasy, where they need those old structures. They need the environmentals to look old and like centuries old and stuff like that. Prague. But him saying that it's like stealing candy from a baby. Nobody's stealing anything from you. With its weak and incompetent California, with its weak and incompetent governor, which I think that Gavin Newsom is probably going to run for the president of the United States. For some reason, I think he has his eyes on um, being the president. California, with its weak and incompetent governor, has been particularly hard hit. Therefore, in order to solve this long time, never ending problem, I will be imposing a 100% tariff on any and all movies that are made outside of the United States. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. President DJT. Girl, shut the fuck up. This is the hill he's choosing to perish on, yet guns and white supremacy have and are destroying this country. It's the illusion of white supremacy. There's actually no actual such thing as white supremacy. There's nothing superior about whiteness. Absolutely nothing. 0% superior. So there is no such thing as white supremacy. We're all operating and being governed by an illusion and these people's delusion. You can tell by the way that they speak that they're under a delusion. They're under a delusion. This man can't do a single damn thing right. But he's a white man, and that's where a lot of the people put their pride. They put their bets. They put all money in. A white man, heterosexual, Christian and heterosexual are questionable. We questioning that. Can he just take an extended vacation for the next 3 years? We are tired. The president is essentially an angry, weaponized 9-year old, just tantrum after tantrum, nonsensical move after nonsensical move. I guess he just woke up and thought, let me piss somebody off today. Yeah, that's it. He's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. And it's the mere fact that he is the president of the United States that I honestly think that other countries look at what a joke. Do you see what Mexico did? They have a woman president. They had a ceremony for her that was so beautiful, and she had all women in the court. giving her this ceremony. It was all women. It was phenomenal to witness. And then I look at this unprogressive, there's nothing progressive about the United States. The United States is literally last on every single industry except for guns and military, which makes sense, right? That's the reason, like, even what's his name, Jared, talking to Eddie Wayne, talking about white people being more technologically advanced because they have guns in order to kill everybody in the area they want to settle or occupy, and then kill everybody in that area, call them savages. Like, it's the same operating system. Like, they do the same thing everywhere they go. It hasn't changed. Go to that country, feed them Jesus, tell them they're savages and need Jesus, and then oppress them, oppress the people. I often wonder how immigrants feel when they finally get to this country, because a lot of what they see is propaganda. A lot of what they see is not real about this country. And by the time they get here and settle here, I wonder, do they think, like, where the fuck did I end up? How did I end up in this fucking place? This place is worse than the place that I fucking left. As bad. Look at all these homeless people. Look at all these veterans who don't have access. Look at all these women. Look at all these children. Look at these homeless people. Look at all these homeless men. What is the federal income tax? What is not income tax? Hourly rate wage. Hey Siri, what is the federal minimum wage requirement in the United States?
Here's an answer from Wikipedia.
The federal minimum wage in the United States has been $7.25 per hour since July 2009. For the last 17, almost 18 years. I told you my son went to McDonald's. They called him $20 an hour at McDonald's. He just wants to piss people off, but that's what narcissists do. That's their goal. That's their, like, MO. That's their MO. Let's see. Yeah, I would do the entire show in Spanish. I'll make them make the whole fucking stadium pissed off. And what's really, like, insulting is the fact that Jay-Z is over the music and entertainment, and the NFL does not like black people at all. But what you can do for us niggers is sweat under a bunch of lights and entertain us during the halftime show. And let's get the head nigger to do it. And that's Jay-Z. Let's get him, Hova. Let's get him. Let's get him to get the people to ignore the fact that us as an organization, we're just as detrimental to black people as the cops. Jay-Z speaks on having Bad Bunny headline the Super Bowl halftime show. What Benito has done and continues to do for Puerto Rico is truly inspiring. Bad Bunny locked down one of the biggest opportunities in music, a halftime show for Super Bowl LX. What number is that? I don't know. In 2026. What is L? I don't know. Rock Nation, the NFL, and Apple Music dropped a bombshell that the Puerto Rican icon will own the stage during the Dallas Cowboys Green Bay Packer matchup on Sunday, September 28th. He even blessed fans with a slick Instagram video chilling on top of a goalpost on the beach while Galleita played in the background. What I'm feeling goes beyond myself, Bad Bunny said in a statement to Rolling Stone. It is for those who came before me and ran countless yards so I can come in and score a touchdown. This is for my people, my culture, and our history. Ve dile a tu abuela que cerramos el halftime show del Super Bowl. Jay-Z and brains behind Rock Nation stood proud after the announcement. What Benito has done and continues to do for Puerto Rico is truly inspiring. We are honored to have him on a world stage. Um, should have been Hannah Montana versus Miley Cyrus for the 20th anniversary of the show. What the fuck? Yeah, I think they want to get him because he just recently said I mean, I'm sure this has been in the making long before he made that statement about, saying that he doesn't want to have his shows in the United States because he fears that ICE will raid his shows. And probably, probably. The fact that the slave catchers are now trying to get Latino people, and it's what's crazy is they want the Latinos to get out of the country so that the work that they do in the country, you'll do it. Oh, that's the plan. That's why they're telling black people that Mexicans are taking their jobs. And black people are really like falling for that shit. Like white people fell for the shit that black people are taking their jobs. Like, what the fuck be wrong with y'all? Y'all don't see the fucking same shit happening and you don't recognize it. Like, damn, they used to tell white people that black people are taking their jobs. Now they're telling black people that Latinos are taking their jobs, and you believe it, and you're literally operating like that. You literally say things out of your mouth like you'll call ICE on somebody. That's like somebody saying they'll call the cops on you. It's the same thing. And then you turn around and do the same shit. That's why a lot of y'all don't want equality. You want the same fuck ass privilege that these motherfuckers have so that you can do the same shit that they do. And that's why you won't get it, because they already know what your intentions are. That's why you'll never get it. You won't get it because you want to be like these white people. You want to be able to have the quote privilege. You don't necessarily want the equality. That's why you will say xenophobic stuff out of your mouth as if that cannot be turned on you. The same thing turned on you. Let's call the slave catchers. Oh, the cops. I mean, they're called the cops now. They're called law enforcement now. Slave catchers. Let's call ICE. Bitch, I'm going to call the cops on you. When I hear black people saying stuff like that, it really bothers me. I don't give a fuck if you've ran into a Latino who doesn't like black people. That doesn't mean that ICE needs to come and pick up everybody. But that's the game. And see, the people fall into the game. And that's why when they tell you to stay woke, that's what the fuck they talking about. But instead, they've taken a word and created a bad energy around that. But stay woke, because guess what? The same shit that they did to white people by telling them black people were taking their jobs, to create all these poor white trash, to be mad at black people for the rest of their lives, thinking that black people have taken their fucking jobs. Now they're telling black people that the Latinos are taking their jobs. And black people are really mad, saying xenophobic shit out their mouth, telling Latino people they will call ICE on them. Did you forget that the cops used to be called slave catchers, and they would catch runaway slaves, or and not even just runaways, if just anybody who looked like a slave. And guess what makes you look like a slave? Your skin color. That's the only determining factor. That's why it was so effective for them to do what they did with the social construct of race. The best way to identify someone different than you is through their skin color, even though we are the same. So the ones that have the darker skin tone, get them. I don't give a fuck if they have their papers or not. Get their asses. And then we're going to create some amendments in this Constitution that, where if I put you back into an institution where you've broken the law, now I can continue to enslave you, because that's the place where slavery is legal. So why don't I create laws that you don't have any choice but to break, and then put you in front of a jury of all white people, and then put you back into servitude? Stay woke. That's what they mean. Stay woke so you can see the grift. Don't be fooled by this man telling you that Latinos are taking your jobs. They're talking about the jobs that you actually do not want to take, and the migrant workers that come here and work in the fields and pick your goddamn fruit for you. That's what they're talking about. I don't see black people out there picking fruit. I don't. I don't. And I don't see too many black owned cleaning, housekeeping businesses. I don't. I know that there are some and they exist, but I don't see too many black people cleaning people's homes. I literally do not, that is literally what's happening, is them saying that they're taking your jobs that you haven't possessed since your ancestors were enslaved. As a lot of, I think that's why a lot of people, they're turning back to farming, but I think a lot of black people rejected the idea of being on land, being in, like, I see more black people hiking, being inland, being in nature. I see more of that. But I remember there was a time where you would be made fun of. I used to get made fun of for wearing Birkenstocks. I used to get made fun of for wanting to do things that, quote, white people did, being close to nature, being close to the earth. Black people are now back into it, getting more back into, because we realize the further away from nature we got, the further away we were assimilating into this fuck shit. And it's not fulfilling. Go ask them. They're not fulfilled. That's why they feel like they need to control other people, because they're unfulfilled. They have unfulfilled destinies. They are not destined to rule nothing. You have to operate in a state of a perpetual state of delusion to believe that your skin color and if you have a penis makes you better than the next person. You have to be insane, clinically insane, in order to believe that and to carry that on so well that you embed it into every system that someone needs to access. Every system it's embedded in. And if you don't fucking see the grift and stay woke for real, then you're going to be a victim of this shit. And you don't, because you don't have to participate in it. I don't have to participate in the idea that you think you're superior because you have white skin. Then we're both nuts. And I'm not nuts. I'm woke. So I don't blame Bad Baby for not wanting to come here and perform. But now you got the head nigga out here saying, "Oh, let's hire you." I would do the entire show in Spanish. I would do the entire show in Spanish. I would. I'd fuck them up. Regine, go call your daddy. Regine is not, there's no sex appeal there. Sorry, girl. We see you as a kid. We see you as our drunk, lean filled cousin's daughter. Girl, go put some clothes on and go sit at the table with the kids. I don't know what is going on. No one should be moved by a white person using stereotypical tropes to insult a black person in 2025. They literally have no new material. Young Thug encourages his city to stop the violence while holding a free concert outside the Fulton County Courthouse. Girl, I don't know when did they start putting concerts outside of the courthouse? That's crazy as hell. Let me tell you something. He says Joanne Cheshimard didn't fight for justice. She murdered a New Jersey state trooper, Warner Forster, in cold blood, then fled to Cuba to escape accountability. The FBI never stopped calling her what she was, a terrorist. Mourning her is spitting on the badge and the blood of every cop who gave their life in service. And guess what I want to do? I want to spit and shit on every badge of a cop who wore a hood on his day off. Yes, let's spit and shit on the badges. Yes, and all the cops who have gave their life in service while they were part of a racist system that was created to do exactly what was done here. Frame somebody for something they didn't do and then get them judged by a jury of all white men. Nah, we're not doing that. We breaking our sister out and she's going to Cuba, and that's where she's going to live freely until her death. And she died over the weekend. Assata Shakur. She died over the weekend. And people are mourning her death. The way that y'all wanted to mourn Chucky KKK Kirk's death, yeah, that was a motherfucking terrorist. No, Charlie Kirk was the terrorist. No, the terror was shot the other day. That's where the terrorist who the terrorist is. All right, let's see what else is happening. JD Vance I listened to Kamala Harris for 90 seconds, and I actually feel like I've gotten dumber in the process. That's why I said don't listen to nothing they say, nothing they say. And then the FBI director saying that people shouldn't mourn Assata Shakur's death. I want to read a couple of the comments here. The biggest joy I've gotten is that the government never got her. Exactly. We're not mourning Charlie Kirk. How about that? Imagine an immigrant talking bad about a Black American revolutionary legend. What do you mean, imagine? If you can mourn Charlie Kirk, we'll mourn her. Stop telling us who to mourn. She did her big one, and we love her for it. God bless her on her journey into God's arms. God doesn't have arms, little scrappy. Well, you wouldn't know. You had sex with somebody in a threesome, unprotected sex, and had a baby out of a threesome. Let's celebrate her name and name it National Assata Shakur Day on October 14th. Long live Queen Assata. Cuban flag, black fist emoji. Black people versus everybody. This battle is bigger than the skies. I hope he gets deported. January 6th pardons was a real spit to officers. Sir, literally have pardoned people that hurt officers in the Capitol on July 6th. Spare me the outrage. Cardi B's album is doing well. The people are really responding well to it. They like a lot of the songs. What songs do you like? Girl, she released that song Every Time with Lotto. I love the way Lotto comes in. It's a good song. I was like, okay, come on, Cardi B, Bel Khalees. I don't want to see nothing. Oh, did y'all hear about the judge who was sympathetic to Dylan Roof? He got caught with child pornography. Sure did. Charleston judge who called Dylan Roof's family victims and once used the N word in court denied bond after child sex abuse material arrest. It says Magistrate James Consell Jr., Dylan Roof's sympathizing and N word using judge, is in hot water. After Roof killed 9 innocent people at the Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in downtown Charleston, South Carolina, on June 17th, 2015, Gosnell told the court at his bond hearing to remember we have victims on this young man's side of the family and the world they are thrown into. He asked to help those that are victims, but to help Ruth's family as well. Before this, in November 2003, the judge was reprimanded for using the N word in court while talking to a Black defendant whom he knew. He said, there are 4 kinds of people in this world: Black people, white people, rednecks, and niggers. Facing the Office of Disciplinary Counsel at the state Supreme Court, Gosnell said he heard a Black sheriff deputy use an ill-considered word and repeated it to help the young defendant change his life at his bail reduction hearing. Since then, Gosnell was arrested on September 16th for allegedly possessing child sexual abuse material. Bond was also denied after federal prosecutors claimed forensic evidence reveals Gosnell confessed to federal agents about possessing child sexual abuse material and that he communicated with like-minded individuals using a messaging app, Telegram. In alleged conversations, Gosnell allegedly revealed he had raped and abused children numerous times. That's what I'm saying. They don't care. Like the abortion thing, they don't care about. The only thing I feel like they want children to be here is so that they can figure out how to abuse children, how to put them into systems where they are abused, right? Have women to have children that don't want them, right? They keep them from getting abortions, then get the children here. There's over 500,000 children in foster care. You're going to tell me this motherfucking country, the human trafficking hub of the globe, gives a fuck about children? They don't. They don't. These motherfucking men and the women who help them, pigs, disgusting, slobbering pigs who need their fucking limbs removed from their bodies. That's how people who harm children should be treated. You will never ever leave the courthouse. You will never leave this courthouse. You will never leave this building. You will stay in the jail of this courthouse for the rest of your life, because guess what? There will always be children. Yeah, with the gay agenda and all, children will still be produced, reproduced, and put on this earth. And you motherfuckers do not give a fuck about children. You can't expect a group of people who operate under an illusion of white superiority to have empathy for anybody. They don't care about nobody. And these people who abuse children, I don't give a fuck what your color is, what your race is, your ethnicity, off with your motherfucking head with a dull guillotine blade. A dull guillotine blade, so we have to lift it and drop it 8 times before it severs your fucking head from your body. Anybody who abuses children, I have no remorse, no empathy. I don't have nothing for them. Nothing. And then you admit to have abused and raped children. I'm telling you, if women were in charge of the punishments, the first thing, if you fuck with a kid, you rape anybody, your dick is getting chopped off. Not your balls, your dick. I'm not talking about a castration. I'm talking about a complete termination of your reproductive abilities, period. And I bet you a lot of this shit would stop if the punishment for harming children was getting your dick chopped off. You know what? If the punishment was getting your dick chopped off for anything, I don't give a damn if you stole a pack of bubble gum. All this shit would stop. If it meant losing their dicks, these men would stop it. But because this is a patriarchy and all of the systems are governed and gate kept and ran by men, and the fucking bitches, treasonous bitches who help them, it's going to ensue. You need your fucking head chopped off, you hog head, bitch ass motherfucker. Investigate his cases and sentences and get that he gave out. Is anybody picking up on a pattern? Types of people that are making news for child porn and abuse material? A white man, not an immigrant, not a black person, not someone trying to make a living, a white man. And they got the audacity to tell me systematic racism isn't real. Some of his victims were infants. I can't. Walking evil. So again, not brown, not black, not an immigrant, not a drag queen, not trans. Got it. Trans people make up, I think, no more than 5% of the population. And that's who y'all have directed your ire towards, is people who literally make up 3% of the population, and you're only focused on the ones who are transitioning to women. You're not focused on the ones transitioning to men, right? Because they're transitioning to men. But we're going to bully, we're going to ostracize, we're going to pick on, we're going to focus on the ones who want to transition into women. That's who we're going to focus on, because in this system, we don't like women. We don't give a fuck if you trans or if you cisgender. We don't fucking like women in this system. So if you are a born male and transitioning to a woman, our focus is on you, because how the fuck dare you transition to what the fuck we hate in this system? So now our target is on you. No matter if you were born a male, the fact that you are transitioning into a woman, our target is on you, motherfuckers. And we're going to make everything about you so much that other people will jump on board. They don't even realize it. We'll jump on board. And then once we're done focusing on the trans people, we're going to turn our eyes to the immigrants. Then after we get on the immigrants, we ain't took our eye off you blacks. Our eye stays on you, because you have to be under a certain system in order for all this shit to work. Because without y'all and the immigrants and the LGBTQ, without women, without children, without LGBTQ, without immigrants, none of this shit, none of their delusion works without our participation. And that's the truth. But because that thought process is embedded into every system, and then you have people who are working in the system who share those same ideas. Didn't we just talk about that dentist who was going around? She wears a hat, make your smile great again, or something like that. Make your smile great again. But she says she was joking and saying that when she finds out that her patient has an issue with her make your smile great again hat, she turns down the laughing gas or the pain medicine. You turn it down. So that means you torture people who don't have your same thinking and the way that you think. A Latina, a white Latina, who you will be next, because they said it don't matter what you look, it doesn't matter what you say you are, it doesn't matter if you have your DDS, it doesn't matter if you have your JD. If you're a Latino and they think that you are here illegally, they're gonna scoop your ass up. So the Latinos do the same thing. They act like they can get close to white people, and it erases the fact that you and your family, like so many people here are immigrants in this country. Even if the crazy part is the way that they treat people who are born here. I was born here. You know how many black people are born here and still get treated like this is not their land? Like literally, white people have come to America, have tried to eradicate the people in its on the land, and try to be like, this is our land. And anybody coming here, you don't belong here, you don't belong here. Girl, you don't belong here. I wore a shirt yesterday. No one is illegal on stolen land. Your ass don't belong here. You stole this land. This is not your land. And the fact that anybody is complying with and getting in line with the idea that this is white people's land, and then tell them, you go back to where you came from. Tell them. It's so funny how they could tell everybody to go back where they came from, but tell them, you go back to where you came from. You don't know where you came from, do you? You don't know where you come from, do you? You claiming this land is yours. There's people here before you got here, spreading diseases, raping, pillaging, trying your best to get rid of the people, and then to tell everybody that coming here, they don't belong here. You guys are the biggest bastards, illegitimate bastards on the globe. No home, no place to go. You don't even have fucking seasonings that match up with your culture. That's outside of preservatives and salt and sugar. Girl, don't get me started. Karma is beautiful. Talking about victims while creating some of your own is wild work. Are we surprised? These folks are everywhere in our system, everywhere. Anyone still wondering who the bad guys are? Do we have enough evidence yet? That's why they want to be able to marry children. That's why they want children to be working, the child labor laws. They don't care about children. So they abuse children. And I honestly don't understand the psychology behind finding children sexually attractive. I think it is so disgusting. I think it's absolutely sickening. I have no room, no empathy, no space for anybody who abuse vulnerable people, and that are children, animals, elderly, disabled people, people who cannot defend themselves, let alone just women, right, who are the victims of sexual abuse, the men who are victims of sexual abuse. I was thinking about that over the weekend. So I was thinking about Omarion and the boys of B2K and being around Puffy, and how because society just releases boys to the wolves, literally to the men, to the wolves, and people don't listen, that we are always worried about the men harming the girls, that they know that there's a gap where we don't really pay attention to the boys. And then you inject the boys with homophobia to where they feel ashamed that some man has harmed them. So they're not going to say anything, because then everybody's going to be like, you gay, you gay, you gay, even though you were raped and assaulted by a man. The men do not come forward. They're like really like silent victims in this, because when they do come forward, then y'all are saying that, calling them gay, and so they don't come forward. Men do not come forward, and they know that there's a gap. Like, men know that there's a gap there where boys are not really watched as much as they're watching the girls, because we know the men are preying on the little girls. So we keep our eyes on the little girls. We don't keep our eyes on the little boys. And there are thousands of boys, to the point where even in the Black culture, Black men, if you sit around and ask them their first sexual experience, a lot of them will describe rape to you as their first sexual experience. And they have responded to this trauma by basically trying to mask it as a quote rite of passage. So when they are in community talking about being raped and assaulted as their first sexual experience, they think it's okay, because so many of them have done it. So it must be okay if all of us have a similar experience. Ask 5 men you know, I guarantee more than half, at least 3 of them, their first sexual experience was assault or rape. And these child predators, they know that boys are not watched as hard as girls are watched, and inject the homophobia in. The boys are now ashamed, and they feel like the way that when girls are assaulted, because we it's so funny how sex is the weapon, right? And we tell children as soon as they start having sex that you're now an adult, you do this and you do that. They're not adults if they start having sex. Sex is not an adult act, right? Adults should have sex with adults. And if children are under the age of consent, having sex with other children as a way of sexual exploration. But adults should not be having sex with children ever. There's never a space where you're like, okay, well, I could see. No, never, never that. But if you find out that these people are having sex with children, it's off with their heads, and they should not be allowed in community, because there will always be children. There are they when you once you mess with a child, you'll always be a threat, because there's children everywhere, and there will always be children, gay agenda and all. There will always be children. So you are unsafe in every environment, because there's children everywhere. And if you are unsafe to children, you're unsafe to women. And you're a judge. That's why me, myself, I question authority. I don't, just because you're in an authoritative position, I'm still looking at you crazy. I don't give a fuck if you have a badge, a robe, a stethoscope, a gavel. I don't give a fuck. I'm still looking at your ass crazy, because people are people. And a title doesn't mean that it will change your behavior. If a man is an abuser of children, he's an abuser of children, whether he has a stethoscope around his neck or a fucking gavel and a robe on. And that's the very reason why I don't put people in authority. I don't put them on any pedestal. I see you as a motherfucking equal. And if I find out you're harming people who are vulnerable, I see you as beneath me. I do. And we need a dull guillotine for you, Judge. What's his name? Gosnell. You have sympathy for Dylan Roof's family. Girl. It says Kai Cenat becomes the first Twitch streamer to reach 1 million subscribers in 27 days. Snoop Dogg gifted 50 subs, which is $250,000 to help. Let LeBron James to cut Kai's locks. Kai Cenat manifested his success, and by September 25th, he broke Twitch's record with 1 million subscribers. And the crazy part is 1 million people, Crocs, State Farm, Bose, T-Mobile, and Snoop Dogg gifted, bought subscriptions for him. So that subscription will probably go back down because typically bought subscriptions are only for the month. So in case those people don't keep up their subscription, it's just going to go dead. You're going to lose that subscription at the end of the month. Um, you have unlocked LeBron, Ramon James to come to your house to cut off your locks. And the crazy part about Twitch is he's making all this money, and you know what he's doing? He's just streaming and just doing weird things in front of the camera, but people are literally watching him just do really nothing. Like I remember when to me, the first people to do that to where you're just watching someone stream are Asian folks. I don't know if it was Korea. I don't know what part of Asia, but it was like they would just be online, whether they were working, not necessarily talking to subscribers, just be online. Like just had a live stream going of their environment, and people would literally just watch. People would watch. And so you have a million people subscribed to just watching someone stream. It's crazy. It's like Black Mirror. Okay, it's 10 minutes until I gotta go. So I'm gonna go get myself prepared to go to my appointment, and then I will come back. I wanted to watch this video while listen. I wanted to record a video while listening to a video that I posted to my um community wall. It's just called post now. It used to be called community, which I think they should go back to calling it community because it sounds better to say on the community wall, which lets you know it's a wall for everybody. But anyways, on the community wall, I posted a video of women talking about regretting marriage, and I wanted to listen to it and then react while I'm listening to it and talk about it with y'all. I think it's a really relevant topic for women who are looking to decenter and to live a life that they wanted to live instead of trying to live a life that they think other people want them to live or other people watching them want to live or whatever. So I'll be back in the car. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, hype the video up. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for supporting the channel and the videos and sharing the videos and clipping the videos. Thank you all for that. Go ahead and get in the comments, sound off. Let me know what you think of the topics. I know we were kind of all over the place, but it was kind of political. But again, with the judge, with JD Vance talking shit about Kamala, with Trump and the tariffs, on movie making. It's just, I have a lot of opinions about it. I don't come down here and share too much, but if you can see, I'm a person that goes against everything, all these systems that are in place. I reject all those systems. I don't make space for people who are, any of the phobias, any of the isms. I don't make space for people like that. And especially, I do not make space or create a safe space for men who harm anybody. I don't make safe spaces for men or women who harm children. This is not a safe space for you. If you harm children, if you beating your children, if you're whooping your children, this is not a safe space for you. We don't operate from that space, even though you think you turned out okay, which you could probably use about 12 therapy sessions. Yeah, even though you think you turned out okay, you put your hands on somebody that you claim to love, I don't see it for your ass either. I don't, because I don't. So I'm going to go. You guys take care of yourself, take care of each other, protect the children around you. Speak up when you hear these girls or these boys talking crazy. Speak up, correct, because the only thing that's going to change the culture is by correcting the misinformation or even correcting what they think was normal. Like I was talking about the men being abused and how they are introduced to their masculinity or their manhood. Somebody is literally harming them, like stuff like that we think is okay or have normalized it so much that it's now invisible to it being wrong. So like all of those things, I have my opinions on them. So share your opinions down below. Let's get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. We're going to come back with another video. Peace.